You are like a normal human, and you're thinking about your day, you're thinking about your life, you're thinking about your world, you're thinking about the personal things and the not so personal things. You're thinking a lot of thoughts. You're engaged with life. And some of the thoughts you think serve you really well, some of the thoughts you think don't serve you so well, but you're just thinking thoughts because there's thoughts to be thunk, right? So here is this thought about something that you want, and you're thinking about this thought of something that you want, and it starts in a gentle place. Let's say that you started early enough in the day that it was easy to get it going in that direction, so you're thinking about what you want on this subject. It might be a lover, it might be financial remuneration, it might be purchasing business real estate, it could be any number of things. So you're focused upon this desire, and so far so good. You're thinking about it, and it feels good to you to think about it. It feels fresh, feels exciting. The idea of it really feels good to you. So you're thinking that thought, and then because you've got a belief that contradicts it, that's in the vibrational vicinity of that subject, you think, but I cannot really afford that. So now you've got this thought of what you want and this contradictory thought about it. And so you're not ever thinking two thoughts at the same time, but you're thinking them in close enough proximity to each other. I want it, but, I want it, but, I want it, but, that you've got a little vibrational wobble going here. You want it, but, so there's a little wobble going here. If you will step back right now and soothe that wobble, law of attraction is going to help you take that thought of desire to another place. But if you don't, the wobble's going to keep you from moving purely forward with that thought. So it goes like this. Let's say you don't catch it because it didn't feel very big. It wasn't gut-wrenching. You didn't really even notice it. You're not that in touch with your emotions. You're not that pure about your non-wobble thought yet. And so you think about how you want it, but. And then you think about how you've wanted it for a while, but. And then you think about how you hardly know anybody that's got that. And so now your thoughts are continuing. Law of attraction is causing each part of this thought to be greater. Are you getting the sense of this? But the wobble's getting greater too. So now, pretty soon, you want it, but now you're talking to your friend about it. Oh man, I've wanted this thing that I can't have for so long. Yeah, me too, your friend says. I can't even remember the last time I had anything like that. You know, I know somebody that's got it, but you don't even want to know that guy. That guy is so egotistical, centered. That guy is so hard to talk to, doesn't want to talk to things that negate what he wants. So you've got this big time wobble going on now. With us so far? You're the creator of your own reality. You're vibrational beings. You live in a vibrational universe. Everything you think is vibrational. Law of attraction is managing the vibration. And when you think about what you want in its absence, you wobble. And wobble doesn't feel good. And the more specific you are in a wobbling posture, the more uncomfortable you will become. The more specific you become in a non-wobbling posture, the more exhilaration you will feel. So your negative emotion is just letting you know all day, every day, what you're doing wobble-wise and what you could clean up if you would try a little bit. But if you'd be smart about it and want to stop the wobble before it gets going too much. Now, this may be helpful to a lot of you because a lot of you have been working really hard to try to think positive thoughts. And sometimes you say, but it's more like my thoughts are thinking me. It's like my thoughts are thinking me. And we want you to realize that's never the case. But sometimes the momentum makes it seem that way. So the rule of thumb is to get as far into the good feeling thought as you can without wobbling. And in the moment that you start to wobble, back up from it just a little bit. Back up from it just a little bit. We know sometimes these conversations are not very satisfying to you because you say, well, rah, 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 vibrational reality. I want the money in my bank where I can spend it. I want the experiences. And we say, it has to be enough for you for a while. If you are looking for the evidence of your vibrational accomplishment in the form of emotion and finding it, and you are willing to continue to be pleased with the emotional evidence for a while, the rest of the evidence in every manner that you're speaking of will come to you. But if you get to that place where you say, the emotional evidence is not enough, it's not enough for me to just feel optimistic or happy about this or trusting, I can no longer hold myself there, then we say the momentum will slip away from you. You see, it is a progressive thing. So it's really worth hanging in there and feeling good for no logical reason until the reason shows up. That really is what we're talking about. And so at this point of our conversation with our dear physical friends, we're spending more time than anything talking about your point of attraction. What are you doing here and now? And the answer to that question lies in how you feel. Because if you're ornery, your point of attraction is not where you want it to be. We began talking about this vibrational disc that you are on because it is spinning and law of attraction is bringing to it. There is a momentum that's bringing to you from all around what matches the vibrational frequency that you've got going on. So if you're ornery, you're gathering up ornery things. We began talking about this emotional scale, and we want you to think about the emotional flying disc of fear, or the emotional flying disc. It's not really flying, but it's spinning, and it's energy, and it's fast moving, and law of attraction is answering it. So you could be on a high flying disc that feels like love and appreciation, or you could be on a low flying disc that feels like fear, or you could be on the ornery disc, which feels like ornery. And if you're wondering what disc you're on, and you're not really aware of what you're feeling, then just notice the people around you. Because if they're around you, they're on your disc. And if they're on your disc, it's your point of attraction, you see. Now, you could live in an ornery house and not be on the ornery disc. They'll badger you all the time. They'll ask you, what's wrong with you? Why are you so happy? Don't you know what's going on here? You need to get your head out of the clouds and start facing reality. That's what they'll tell you. Don't listen to them, though. And don't explain to them that they're on the ornery disc either. That never goes very well. But it is so helpful when you begin to care about what your point of attraction is. We talked just a bit ago about momentum, because momentum really is the most important aspect of deliberate creation that you could consciously contemplate. Because what momentum says is, once you get going in that direction, it's more likely that it will continue in that direction. So you want to be aware of the direction. You want to set the tone early. It is our encouragement that you go to bed tonight knowing that when you wake up in the morning, you have a potential of starting the momentum the way you want it to be. Because during your slumber, while you were asleep, the momentum of your point of attraction subsided. Isn't that nice to know? So you really do wake up with a clean slate. Now, it's not likely that you're going to wake up in the morning and think all new thoughts, because you say it's memory, we say it's sort of residual attraction. But if you will wake up in the morning deliberately intending to find thoughts that feel better than usual, and you will focus there for a bit of time, and you will do it the next morning, then the next morning, and the next morning, and the next morning, it is our promise to you that within 30 days, really less, you will have established different vibrational patterns at the beginning of your day. And what you'll begin to notice about the end of the second week is that your point of attraction is visibly different to you. You'll begin to notice that the relationships that you have with nearly everyone have shifted into an improvement, because your point of attraction has shifted into improvement. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can express fully. One of the things that we enjoy most about a gathering like this is that we, or you, are not limited to the communication that is taking place through words. There is a vibrational thing that is happening. The words are helpful because they cause us to focus similarly. And as we focus similarly, then the broader experience of the vibrational knowing and clarity can then take place. A gathering like this, from our point of view, is of advantage to you because through your willingness and patience to participate in dialogue like this, you have focused in the vibrational vicinity of your source longer than you usually do. And because of that longer focus, even though we're all sort of in and out of it depending on what's happening in the questions and answers, for the most part, it is a time of sustained vibrational frequency that is in keeping with who you really are. And that's why, almost without exception, everything that we said here today, even the things that have never been said before, were received by you. That's why you got it. Now, as you move from this room and try to explain to anybody what this was about, that clarity will probably subside just a little bit because this is a peak experience. But the value of it is you practiced a vibration that took you to a new place, which gives you two really wonderful advantages. The first is that now you've found this new frequency and you've sustained it for a little bit of time, enough time. When you slip from it, you will recognize it. So your keen awareness of your own guidance system has been enhanced as a result of a participation like this here today. And the other thing that is wonderful is that your point of attraction has shifted as a result of the mental focus that you have participated in today. You are not leaving this room with the same sustained frequency that you entered it, which means everything in your experience is going to be different. Every relationship that you have will shift to some degree. The thing that matters most, and it's our favorite thing to say to you, is your realization of that. In other words, if you can accept a shift as you have received it here today, acknowledge it is really what we're saying, and then compound the acknowledgement by affirming the evidence of it to yourself, not to others, when it occurs. Well, now you're on the path of least resistance, you see. Now you're moving into that ease that we were talking about earlier. You are a magnificent group, and it has been delightful for us to feel you as you were and as you are. And even more delightful for us to anticipate what is coming for you next. And that's the part that we really want to emphasize, want to leave this active within you. Everything that you desire is all queued up for you. And it's just a matter of time. And the time is only about how much practice you give to feeling good and how much practice you give to not feeling good. So it is our powerful encouragement to you that you assign to yourself a new determination to just be patient about the unfolding of things. Just say to yourself, I'm on the path is unfolding, it will reveal itself to me in its perfect timing, and all is really well. And just practice knowing that, practice saying that until you know it, and practice knowing it until it reveals itself to you with the evidence. And then maybe you can think about telling somebody else about it. But meanwhile, just let this universe prove to you the worthiness that you are and the value that you are to all of us and the well-being that you deserve through constant daily demonstrations. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain happily in the vortex. You guys are wonderful. What a good day. Yay. Yay. Woo!